Hello and welcome to KEGARETORI, a horror visual novel where we find a strange app and let's see what happens with that. Oi, have you heard this one? After school in the classroom, the evening sun spilled through the windows. I wrote a mechanical pencil across my fingers and half listened to whatever Mirai was saying. There's a shrine in the town next to ours. Out behind it, there's old little Hokora. They say if you leave your phone in front of it and recite the words, you get an app. The god inside that Hokora cleanses your Kegare. Kegare? Your defilement. Look, no matter how clean and upright you try to live, you still end up dry somewhere. Everybody does. I couldn't argue with that. I wasn't the innocent little girl I used to be, but now soot stained every part of me. So the god washes all of it off you, you know? Like what is called a deluxe? You mean a detox? And doesn't that sound way too sketchy? Right. Well, it's just an urban legend. Not like either of us has the free time to bike all the way to the next town to test it. Right. So, what are the words anyway? Oh, so you are interested? I'm just asking. Let's see, I think it went Harai tame kiyome tame waga kegare okurai tame. Sorry for my absolute terrible pronunciation, probably. Purify me, cleanse me, devour my defilement. That was what the old words meant. Huh? I gave Mirai the most disinterested answer I had, but the truth is, something in me shifted, because I had a mountain of Kegare inside me. Yukina Zagawa from my class. Something about me sets her off, and I'm the only one she ever goes after. Totsuka, my homeroom teacher. I corrected him once in class, and the room laughed at him. He has never let go. I'm the only one he grades like that. My father's shouting. He snits at nothing. He breaks things. My mother is too frightened of him to push back. Home isn't a place where I can breathe. Sad, furious, resentful, sick of everything. A slow, curing mess of feeling turns over and over in my chest. These ugly feelings settle inside me. Nothing digests them. They just keep stacking up and up. Heavy, dark, warped. And every time I catch my own face in the mirror, the face of a girl hoarding all of that, I hate what I see. Oh, owie, are you gonna go? I'm not going. Oh, I really wanted to try it. Don't use me as your lab rat. We laughed. And that was the end of it. That's crazy. I don't think we particularly have something like that here. But I also feel like this is more part of the Asian religions, to be honest. Full reincarnation and cleansing and stuff. I mean, Christians and Muslims and so on also think quite the... No, they just go to heaven or hell. Nothing else. And the Buddhists and whatever think of reincarnation. So yeah, we really don't have the cleanse your soul thing. I mean, they pray or no, they ask for forgiveness for their sins, and mostly they get them forgiven, but besides that they have no cleansing ritual like the Japanese in that case, as far as I know. If you know different, let me know in the comments. That same night I was pulling toward the next town. This is it. The shrine was far smaller and far darker than I have pictured. No lamps along the path. I walked by the light of my phone. Only the sound of gravel under my shoes. Very decent sound design though. The rustle of the trees, the smell of wet moss, The air here alone was cold. Goosebumps clamped my arms. Maybe I should just go home. The thought lifted its head inside me. No, I came all the way to the next town. I'll try it, and when nothing happens, fine. I'll leave right after. I walk faster. Behind the main hall stood a small hall, old structure. The Hokara, a house that size of a cupboard, built for something to live inside. The wood had gone black. Half the carving on the doors had flaked away. A cobweb hung from the edge of the roof. The doors of the Okura stood slightly open. I looked inside. There it sat, alone, deep in the dark. A pure white doll of untreated wood. Roughly carved, no eyes, no nose, no mouth. A plain boxy wooden doll. I sat with its arms and legs spread wide, small, helpless and alone. I had no expression. Somehow it still looked kind. I don't know, I think it looked creepy. I took out my phone and set it gently before the Hokora. I pressed my palms together. Harai tame, kiyome tame, waga kegare o kurai tame. A bell chimed out of nowhere. A shiver crawled up my spine. KEGARETORI. I looked at my phone. There was an app I had never seen before. KEGARETORI. No way, it actually installed? I tapped it, and the wall of fine print rolled out. The usual "do you agree to the terms" thing. With these, you can't go on unless you agree. Let's go to the last line at full speed. For some reason, only that last line caught me. A soul fully cleansed shall become a god. Please continue with your purification efforts. A god? A small laugh slipped out of me. I'd become a god? Something people worship? That doesn't sound so bad. I guess in the terms of service there's something like, yeah, she has to die in the next three days or something. I mean, we have to, no? The moment I pressed agree, the screen changed. What? How does it know all of this? Something crawled over my skin, but my finger was already moving before the chill could finish. Okay, we go classmate bullying. I realized I had been holding my breath. My back was damp with sweat. The screen went dark. The night wind cut down the path. The trees swayed. Nothing happened. How stupid. I muttered it to myself and left the shrine behind. The next morning, the air in the classroom had changed. I knew it the second I sat down. Nobody was looking at me. That moment when Yukinga Zagawa always looks over and smiles. It didn't come. I gazed at her desk. She was alone. The girls who used to circle her were laughing in another group. Every so often they'd glaze at her, share a look, and laugh again. The me of yesterday was sitting right there. Morning, Aoi. Ah, yeah, morning. Saka was getting frozen out. Serves her right. Mihoi laughed under her breath. My heartbeat was loud in my ears the whole class. A coincidence? Or was it really that app? After school I went home and sat on my bed. With shaking fingers I opened KEGARETORI. I looked at the screen. What do I choose next? Father shouting because we are home right now. At dinner that evening, my father said it flatly. They are sending me to Singapore on my own, 3 years. What? Starting when? Next month. I see. The same quiet table as always, but it filled the air of the house. Go light. I looked at that screen. What did I choose next? Teacher unfair grade. Morning assembly the next day. They announced Totsuka's sudden transfer. Due to personal family circumstances, the principal's voice droned through the gym. Huh, isn't that kind out of nowhere? I listened to it from somewhere far away. Family circumstances. Maybe that's all it is. But maybe that's the app. I look at the screen. What do I choose next? I mean, there's only one thing. My face disgust. The next morning I looked in the mirror and my breath stopped. The same face I always have. And yet, something was different. The heavy air I used to carry was gone. In this place was something like a clean wind, blowing straight through me. My skin was firm, my hair had shine, my eyes were alive, my back was straight, and above all, I felt good. Oh, she's smiling. Good morning. Without meaning to, I was smiling at the girl in the mirror. On the way in, boys turned to look as I passed. Who's that? Was she always here? Wait, is that Tatsakura? Seriously? Was she always that cute? The whispering behind my back tickled. Aoi, something about you is different lately. You think so? Different how? I don't know. Like you're kind of glowing. What does that even mean? I answered her, embarrassed. My chest felt light. Nothing about me had changed, and everything felt like it had. Before I noticed, my world was a different place. My grades climbed on their own. I was nominated for student council. People started talking to me without prompting. My way of mine did not, obviously, as you can see. My way of speaking turned gentler, brighter. God, how can I fail this sentence 3 times? One day, an underclassman told me, Tatsakura, lately you seem almost divine. That's a bit much. I brushed it off, and deep down I thought, this is who I really am. This is who I always should have been. Something was on my way all this time. On the way home one day, facing the reds of the sunset, I found myself pressing my palms together. Thank you. I'm grateful from my heart for all of this world. My chest was quietly, completely full. There was no Kigara left in me. A clear Saturday morning, I decided to go back and give my thanks. I wanted to tell that Okura properly. I left my bag outside the shrine gate, the same as the night, and then stepped onto the path. The shrine that had been so eerie back then was a completely different place now. Sunlight through the leaves, swayed on the gravel. Birds were singing. The wind moved gently. Where did the girl from that night even go? I laughed a little, put a coin in the offering box at the main hall, and pressed my palms together. Then I heard for the okora in the back. I stood before it and bowed my head a little. Thank you. KEGARETORI changed my life. I said it out loud. Warmth spread softly through my chest, and then, still full of gratitude, I looked past the doors of the okora into the dark side. What? The object of worship visible through the gap in the doors, the carved wooden door, it was black. The first night I came here, when I looked inside, it was pure white, I'm certain. Roughly covered, a roughly caved doll of pale wood without a face, and now it had darkened to his suit, the absolute black. What? I stepped closer, and then, with no wind at all, the doors of the Hokora creaked open. Morning light peered into the inside of the Hokora. What? My breath caught. Oh. There wasn't just one doll. They were piled in the back. Dozens of them. More. New dolls, old dolls. Every single one of them pitch black. How many years had the old ones been in here? Arms and heads snapped off, rotted down to ruin. No sound came out. Something gripped my chest and squeezed. I didn't understand what I was looking at, but it was wrong. All of it was wrong. What is this? Why there are so many? I slammed the doors shut. The bang was so loud that my own shoulders jumped. I backed away a few steps. My heart was slamming. I pulled out my phone with shaking fingers. I typed into the search bar. KEGARETORI Shrine Urban Legend Doll. I landed on an old aggregator site. Someone's abandoned personal blog. A log from a dead message board 20 odd years old. And in it, a single post. Becoming a god through KEGARETORI means becoming a Hitobashira. The blood drained out of me. The hand holding my phone started to shake. Hitobashira? My voice came out trembling. A human pillar? Alive, buried alive to serve someone else's purpose? Those dolls. People whose Kegare had been cleansed away. Who had become gods. No. My head snapped up. No way. That's not real, right? I turned back to the Hokora one more time. Through the gap in the doors, the black dolls were looking at me. That's impossible. That's impossible. People don't turn into dolls. My knees went loose. Cold sweat ran down my temple. I have to get out of here right now. I said it out loud. I tried to force my tangled feet to move. And then, my phone buzzed in my hand. Hick! I looked at the screen on reflex. The notification read, KEGARETORI. One Kegare remains. Purify it to become a god. No. I smashed my phone against the stone path with everything I had. I heard the screen break, and then I ran without looking back. Down the path, gravel kicking under my shoes. I gripped the handlebars and pedaled for my life. Not looking back, not thinking. Why? Why was I the one chosen? No, that's wrong. The one who chose was me. I chose to become a god. I pressed the button that said I agree, without understanding what it really meant. My breath tore, my chest hurt. Tears ran down my cheeks. I kept running all the way home, trying to shake it off. I got home, kicked off my shoes in the entryway, and threw myself into my room. I shut the door and locked it from the inside. Then I pulled the Converse over my head. And the covers. It's fine, it's fine. Everything's fine. I repeated it like an incantation of my own. The phone is gone. I broke it at the shrine and left it there. So it's fine. If I stay away from that place, it's fine. If I never go near it again, it's fine. Tomorrow I'll forget all of it. Tomorrow everything goes back to normal. At some point I must have fallen asleep. Still half inside the fog of it, I noticed I was holding something. My phone. Screen shattered into a web of cracks. The phone I left behind at the shrine. On the screen was KEGARETORI, and it said, cleanse your final Kegare. Oh, what? I threw the phone away on reflex. I hit the wall. with a thud and dropped on the floor. I burst out of my own room like something was after me. Owie, what's wrong? I didn't answer. I shoved on a pair of sandals and ran out of the house. Far away, somewhere far away. I rode in the exact opposite direction of the shrine, and yet, when I looked up, I was in front of the shrine. How? I wrenched the handlebars around the other way. I rode like something was chasing me without stopping. 30 minutes, maybe more. I finally stopped, out of breath. I steadied myself and lifted my head. The shrine gate stood right in front of me. No, 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 no. My voice shook. I turned around and ran again. I found a taxi. I raised my hand and stopped it right away. I threw my bike aside and fell into the back seat. The station, please. The station. Sure thing, the station. His voice was kind. The car pulled away and the view began to flow past. My heart settled a little. If I can get on a train, I can go far. Far away. Somewhere far away. The car stopped. Here we are, miss. I threw the door open and scrambled out. It was the shrine. Ah, excuse me, driver, this is... I turned around and the driver wasn't there. Neither was the taxi. Stop it. Please stop it. Every road in this town led to the shrine. Running, riding, hiding. The world itself was carrying me back here. I sank down where I stood. And the sun went down. The dark of the night closed over everything. When I noticed, I was standing on the path. So, there's no getting away. I don't know who I was asking. Nothing answered. As if something invisible had me on a string, I started walking, gravel under my feet. The grounds were pitch black. No lamps. The moon was behind the clouds. The only sound of leaves whispering. My legs carried me, unsteady, toward the Okura in the back. The gravel sounded out from under my feet. Far ahead, a single point of light, glowing in front of the Okura. A brilliant artificial red angle. I didn't need to get closer to know. That was the phone I broke and I left behind. The air was cold. My breath came out white. Is this a dream? Letters floated on the screen. Cleansify a Kigare? I don't want this. My voice shook. I don't want this. I don't need my Kigare cleansed. I don't want to be a god. Tears spilled down my face. Somebody help me. Mom. However much I said it, my legs kept moving forward. Slowly, certainly. When I noticed, I had picked up the cracked phone. My hands shook so hard, the screen shook with it. I don't want to look. I don't want to touch it. But my hand moves on its own. And then, the screen changed. KEGARETORI, your final Kegare is your fear. Cleanse it and be free of all fear. Released from fear? Ah, I see. This feeling is Kegare too. Mine. I'm scared. I want to run. I want to hide. Forgive me. Don't come. Leave me alone. I don't want any of it. Any of this. I want to throw it away right now. I want it to be easy. Anything is fine. If this fear would just go away. I think we have to. We have to cleanse. There is no other way. My shaking fingers pressed yes, slowly, firmly. Ah, something left my body all at once. Everything that had been rigged in me went soft. The shaking stopped. Warmth filled me slowly, out to my fingertips. The terror of a few seconds ago was simply gone. All of it washed away. The fear and everything else. The outline of the thing called me quietly dissolved. I smiled, serenely, perfectly. One last time was displayed on the screen. One last line. Congratulations, you've become God. Thank you. I have become a god. I open the doors of the Hokora and slip into the dark. I lie down on the cold floor and gently close my eyes, wrapped in warmth and a happiness beyond worlds. And not long after that, a brand new, pure white doll sat in the Hokora, alone, just the one. A schoolgirl no one knew came up the path, walking her bicycle. Her face was turned down and she kept fussing with the hem of her skirt. She too had something weighing on her and had to come all this way wanting it changed. The girl stood before the Hokora and offered up her phone. She pressed her palms together and spoke. Harari Tamae Kiyome Tamae Waga Kegare o Kurai Tamae. A bell chimed deep inside the Hokora. The brand new doll of pale wood began to swallow a new defilement. And okay, that's it for KEGARETORI. Cute little story. We are going to play games after. But as per usual, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day or night, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.